All right, let's just jump right in. For what feels like forever, online advertising has been all about one thing: getting seen. But what if that's totally the wrong way to look at it? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical new way of thinking about online ads, moving away from this world of just fleeting impressions to a whole new currency: earned attention. Look, if you're a marketer or a business owner, you've definitely felt this, right? You spend a ton of money on digital ads, but do they actually connect with anybody? Or are they just, well, expensive digital wallpaper that everyone just tunes out? And we're not talking small change here. The stakes are massive. I mean, think about this. Even a decade ago, way back in 2012, online ad spending was already over $100 billion. That's a crazy amount of money being poured into a system that, as you're about to see, has some pretty serious flaws. Okay, so let's crack open this black box, shall we? The entire engine driving that massive industry is built on one metric, and it's been around forever. But here's the kicker. It measures if an ad could be seen, not if it actually was. It's called CPM, or cost per thousand impressions. It is the absolute pillar of online advertising. And the idea is simple. You pay every single time your ad is displayed 1,000 times. But, and this is the really important part, displayed does not mean seen. And it for sure doesn't mean anyone actually paid attention. And this really gets to the heart of the problem, you know? With the CPM model, you're just paying for an ad to be loaded onto a page. But the real goal, the thing that actually matters, is earning the time for that ad to be truly seen and soaked in by a real person. So let's really dig into why this is such a headache. For one, you could be paying to show the same person your ad over and over and over again. You also kind of lose control, so these ugly, flashy ads can pop up right next to your brand. And the publishers, they often get a raw deal on the revenue. But the worst part? You get these vanity metrics, millions of clicks that never, ever turn into an actual sale. Yeah, and don't just take my word for it. This quote from the white paper we're looking at really hits the nail on the head. For small and medium businesses, it often feels like they're just pouring money and time down the drain with no real results to show for it. Ouch. And you might be sitting there thinking, okay, but what about likes and shares on social media? That's got to be better, right? Well, not so fast. One study called this a bust for small businesses, saying most feel like they're wasting their time. There's just no clear way to measure the return on that investment. So if impressions are broken and engagement is a total mystery, where do we go? Well, this is where things get really interesting. A 7-year research journey uncovered a different way forward, a whole new currency for ads that's actually surprisingly simple. And that currency is time. That's it, just time. I mean, think about it. It's the one resource we all share equally. It doesn't matter who you are, where you get 24 hours in a day. And that simple, universal truth is the key to everything. So this idea leads directly to a new model, cost per time, or CPT. Instead of paying for 1,000 blips on a screen, a brand pays for their ad to be there on a site for a specific chunk of time. We're shifting from counting views to valuing actual presence. And this whole CPT thing is built on 4 key pillars: the human, the brand, the relevance of the message, and the frequency of exposure. It's how these 4 things work together over time that builds the one thing every brand is chasing: trust that actually influences a decision to buy. Okay, here's a really smart way to wrap your head around this. We all kind of get cloud computing, right? You pay for a timeshare on a server. Well, CPT does the exact same thing for advertising. You're not just buying some pixels on a screen, you're buying a timeshare of a person's guaranteed attention. How cool is that? All right, now we get to the real game changer. Because this isn't just some abstract theory. It's an actual patent-pending model that makes this whole time-based advertising thing a reality. It's called interactive cost per time, or iCPT. So, how does it all work? Well, the process is actually super simple, and more importantly, totally accountable. First, a brand buys a block of time. Then, their ad gets put up like a digital billboard in a virtual room. That ad stays up for the entire time they paid for, and then, the best part, the brand gets these detailed analytics that show exactly who saw the ad, where they saw it, and for how long. No guesswork. And check this out. This is the original blueprint, the sketch that started it all. The core idea was to create this virtual digital media room where the ad isn't some annoying pop-up. It's just part of the furniture, always there while people are hanging out and connecting. So how do you get people in there? This is the clever part. Instead of giving out loyalty points, brands can give their best customers an interactive loyalty card. Think of it like a gift card, but instead of $5, it gives them, say, 120 minutes of free time to use a private, branded digital room to chat with friends. And here's what that actually looks like in practice. You can see whether it's for a coffee brand or a kitchen gadget, the ad just becomes the backdrop. It's always visible while people are having real face-to-face video calls. So the ad stops being an ad and just becomes the environment for a good conversation. And for the user, the experience is designed to be totally frictionless. We're talking no downloads, no installs, no cookies, so your privacy is completely respected. It works from any browser, you can connect with friends and family, and the ad is never in your face, it's just there. So what's the bottom line here? What happens when you make the switch? When you stop paying for fuzzy impressions and start paying for guaranteed time, you get something totally different. Guaranteed views and real, honest-to-goodness engagement. And what's so great about this is that everybody wins. It's a true win-win. Brands get that guaranteed view time, they get an ROI they can actually measure, and their most loyal customers basically become brand ambassadors. And for consumers, they get something actually useful, time to connect with people in a totally private, non-annoying space. At the end of the day, the promise is simple but incredibly powerful. To deliver what every advertiser has always been dreaming of, guaranteed ad view time powered by authentic face-to-face interaction. You know, it all comes back to that super old saying, time is money. Well, this model, iCPT, literally makes that true. Time is the money. It's the currency that's being exchanged. So we'll leave you with this to chew on. What if we've been counting the wrong thing this entire time? What if the future of advertising isn't about desperately trying to get clicks, but about creating something valuable enough to earn a piece of a consumer's most precious resource, their time?